Hello everybody, my name is Bollore, and I am a Senior Innovation Manager at World Food Programme Kenya Country Office.
Fantastic. Although we've worked it's the first time you've come to the conference.
Yes.
What are your thoughts about the conference? How have you found the conference so far this year?
Yeah, I think it's really great. I really enjoyed it, learned a lot. And I think the best part is that you create this space for all of us to connect. Because obviously there's a lot to share because there's so much good work going on. And it's very, very good to create those linkages, not to work in silos.
Fantastic. So as you've mentioned just now, the format of this compared to other conferences does vary, whereby in the morning we have the plenary, but the whole of the afternoon is dedicated to one-on-one meetings. And do you feel that they achieve a lot more than maybe small sessions are, say at tea time in other places?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It achieves a lot more than listening to presentations, panel discussion all day long, which also gives a lot of value. But this way, we can take note in the morning who are interesting to us for our work. And in the afternoon, we have an opportunity to discuss everything with everyone that we took note of who could be interesting and have those discussions in an almost unlimited time, right? It's also limited, but it's a great format to create meaningful connections.
Fantastic. And have you met a lot of people today?
Yes, I have. I think I have like 20 to 30 cards, maybe. I definitely met a lot of interesting organizations and a great potential future partnerships, which I'm very, very happy about because I think one power of innovation is to bring partners together and co-create. And these conferences really create the space for that. So I'm really looking forward to all the collaborations.
And will we see you again at another EAHS event?
Yes, of course.
Fantastic, Andy. Thank you so much. Tom, so it's been the first time you've attended our event.
Yep.
Although the company's been here previously. What are your thoughts?
It's been a really good day. It's the first day. It's been a busy day, but been some really good chats. And yeah, it's been a really nice way to actually meet a whole bunch of people all in one go. So yeah, a super positive day, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Fantastic. Now, in terms of the setup that we have with the afternoon sessions, how valuable do you find those to have the whole afternoon for the one-on-one meetings?
It's been really good actually, because I think that the chats in the morning set the scene, also define the characters for those who were sitting in the panels, and that was really useful. But then by the end of all those discussions, we're just reeling and ready to just meet everyone and get into the meat of the subjects. So it's been actually really, really good. I've got so many cards in my pocket, and yeah, no, it's been good, really good.
Fantastic. And in terms of panel discussions and the panelists themselves, have you been surprised at seniority or the people that have been here on these panels?
I think that there's been some good seniority. I think that there's been people who, from a procurement perspective, have been very relevant to what we do. So that's been really good. No, I think there's been a good mix of panelists. They do have a very good speciality cover around not only East Africa, but there's actually been some Africa-wide guys as well. So yeah, a very good mix actually.
Fantastic. And how have you found our host, Rob?
He's been great actually. He seems like he's been made for the thing. He has good chat. He's got a good energy about him. He's also been able to try to manage and pull back the time management, which is not necessarily easy in these kind of things. So yeah, 10 out of 10 actually.
My name is Mary Gidiomi. I work for a national NGO called International Aid Services based here in Kenya. My experience in this summit is that I like the mixture of the delegates, that we have business people, we have innovators, we have the UN bodies and NGOs. The whole delegates, they are able to complement each other. I have also been able to sit down. I have interacted with different people who are doing different things. And one of my takeaway is that nobody can be able to bring solutions to everything, to everyone. We need to bring synergy. We need to bring different experiences. And we need to see how can we involve the private sector, how do we involve other actors, stakeholders, so that the solutions that we bring, let's say, to a community is a holistic solution. And even when we are interacting on the tables, and either the panelists and the plenary sessions, they have been exciting just to see how people can be able to bring all the stakeholders together to be able to bring solutions. And I like the innovation part of it because with the digital world that is happening currently, we just need to make sure that we innovate so that our solutions can also be relevant. Looking at the issues of COVID-19, COVID has taught us a lot that we need to innovate. We need to be able to bring innovation so that, talk of example of a cash transfer. The issue with the COVID is that many people are suffering, but now because there is the technology of making sure that even here in Kenya, that people can be able to get money in their pockets using the M-Pesa, it has brought a lot of relief even to the communities that have been suffering. Thank you very much for organizing this. We look forward to more session tomorrow, more interactive and more takeaways. Thank you.
Wayne from IDG. Wayne, I believe we're coming towards the end of day one now of this year's EAHS conference, our return back to Nairobi. How have you found the conference so far?
I must say this is the first time IDG has been represented at this specific conference, and we found it extremely valuable in the sense of the grouping of people that are involved with this conference. It is really the type of services that we as a company appreciate, from logistics through to health services in the sense that mental health services, something that's very much underrated in this industry. We've found that similar companies that we might want to look at joint ventures with, and just in general, extremely helpful and interesting first day.
Fantastic. And in terms of the agenda today, today's agenda, of course, has been dominated by supply chain procurement, issues faced by supply chains within those sectors, and of course, how the private sector can step in and alleviate some of the issues that a number of the agencies are facing. So it's very private sector specific as well. How have you found the panel discussions and the panelists we have?
Extremely interesting to see it from their side. The challenges the industry, the UN has been through over the last couple of 2 years with COVID, disruptive supply lines, and it's nice to see people face to face instead of just an email name in a bid and an RFP, which we have sort of become accustomed to in the remote countries we work in. So I've actually been fortunate enough to meet up with a few people that I've met in South Sudan, people that I've met in Somalia, the head of or deputy head of WFP is actually a client of ours in Somalia as well. So a lot of synergy and sense in what they've got to what they shared today.
Fantastic. And finally, obviously our afternoon sessions are dedicated towards one-on-one meetings, and the whole entire afternoon is dedicated to those meetings. How do you find that works?
We've met most of the people during our stand visits, so we haven't really integrated yet with them, but we are planning to just after a meeting we've got scheduled now.
Fantastic. And do you think it's a good setup?
Very good. Excellent.
Superb. Thanks very much, Wayne.
Thank you.
Altosh, it's a pleasure to see you here once again at the conference.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. You've been at the conference for a number of years now.
Absolutely.
So can you please just, in terms of your position, initially you were regional, you're now the regional chief of procurement for African Development Bank.
Correct.
Based out in South Africa.
Yes.
So thank you so much for flying out.
Yes. Thank you.
And what are your thoughts about the conference? How have you found it so far?
I think the conference started way before we came here.
I really like the way that you have been engaging with all the facilitators and all the major players that were supposed to show up. And when I came today, I was like, wow. Because after COVID, I was a little bit doubtful as to whether we're going to hold a sufficient crowd for us to engage in this valuable conversation. But it looks like we were able to double the number compared to the previous, summits that we had. So kudos to you. I think that was really, really interesting. Now, coming back to what I've seen today, I think the selection of this theme is very relevant, especially in the supply chain, given that we just almost coming to 100% of our day-to-day operations, not only in what we do every day, but also in the supply chain. And I think this conversation happened at the right time. First of all, when we're just about to go into 2023, where we are now supposed to start thinking of our procurement plans and what we are going to do next and how we are going to run our supply chain management to make sure that we deliver to our users. But secondly, just to engage in a conversation to learn from the previous lessons and see how we can improve the future.
Of course. Now, you've played an active role so far today. You were a moderator in one of our panels and you were on a panel. What are your thoughts about the level of panelists that you were working with today in terms of their seniority and the agencies they're with?
I really felt good and honored to brush shoulders with such powerful minds. I remember at some point it was shared that just 5 of us sitting in front, we had a combined experience of more than 100 years. Can you imagine that? So regardless of where they sit in the organization, that experience could actually be a turnaround on how we do procurement, on how we practice procurement, but most importantly, on how we bring innovation into supply chain management.
Exactly, exactly. And that's something which is now very important. The
Absolutely.
pandemic has shown us the need for innovation moving forward. And also, as you know, in terms of, we are very different with the structure that we have, insofar as we have the plenary discussions and the presentations in the morning, but then in the afternoon everything is changed and we have a whole afternoon dedicated towards one-on-one meetings. Is it a format that you're fond of, and what are your thoughts on the format?
I think the format was quite interesting because we had speeches in the morning, we had a keynote, we of course had your icebreaker. That was really good to just get us started off. And by the way, it was very powerful and informative. And it also informed us of the history of this kind of event. And later on, we had the keynote speaker, and then we had 2, I think, professional presentations. And then you were just really preparing us for a panel discussion where each panel member got an opportunity to self-introduce, and then they were now able to respond to the facilitator's question. And finally, we had the questions from the floor. And I think the most interesting part for me was really the question that were being asked. You remember the last session, we had to struggle to actually end the session, which of course was a good testimony of the quality of 1, the speakers, 2, their responses, but number 3, the knowledge that was being shared. Because I felt that there's an action plan that each and every one of us after this summit has to start finding a way of implementing. And of course, I really liked the afternoon where there was this one-on-one discussion, because I believe that after everything else, that one-on-one is a deal breaker, but it's also a deal maker. And this is where going beyond this summit would really happen. We exchange contacts, we have shared what we do. The private sector was also able to tell us what is it that they do and how we can collaborate. And I think that was really fantastic. For me, I think the objective of this summit was 100% met, but the organization that sent me here, I feel that it was value for money, me being here in terms of sharing what we do as the African Development Bank. But number 2, how can we now bridge the gap of the private sector being able to access the opportunities that are available within the bank?
Fantastic. And finally, Ontesh, Will we see you again here next year in September?
I would love to come back.
Fantastic.
If the time, if the resources do allow, I would like to come back.
Fantastic. Altosh, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Christina Pape. I'm working for United Nations Disaster Risk Reduction. And we've had a great day at the conference today. We had the opportunity that our colleagues, Julius Kabubi, was speaking about private sector engagement in disaster risk reduction, in preparedness, and in enhancing resilience. And we've had the chance now in the engagement zone to meet a lot of smaller companies or other organizations that have expressed their interest in participating in our new initiative that is coming up in Kenya, which is the ARISE network that we're trying to build and to implement. So yeah, we're really thankful and we're having a great time with a lot of great exchange.
Thank you for organizing this event. I think it's a very, very fruitful meeting and very interesting to meet other international organizations, other UN agencies, interacting with the private sector to exchange ideas, initiatives. The particular subject that WHO is interested on is the one I was honored to moderate, which is the involvement of private sector in emergency preparedness and response. How can they get involved? How can they support us? And how can they help us save lives? Because they play a very, very important role in helping WHO and other UN agencies, WFP, UNICEF, everyone else be able to have the capacity to respond and to reach out to communities, whether it's from logistics perspective or supply of medical and non-medical items. So it's very commendable. I really appreciate having been invited to this event, and I look forward to more opportunities. Definitely very useful exchanges on how do we address the shortcomings, especially those noted during emergencies such as Ebola, but also COVID-19. How can we improve? I think the private sector was given the opportunity to listen to us and know what we find as concern that impairs our speed in terms of response. The responsiveness of all the UN entities, NGOs to emergencies. Not only responsiveness, but also for the preparedness. They understood what could be the role that they should be playing and the areas that they should improve.
Hi, big thank you to Cameron for running a great exhibition this month here in Nairobi. Really great selection of speakers and great selection of suppliers. There's been some great networking and discussions here in the last 2 days. Thankful, and I really hope to see you all again next year. Thank you, bye.
Hi, my name is Charbel from Ecolog International. It's a great pleasure to be in this amazing event. It's one of the best platforms that unites the humanitarian sector from both sides, private and public sectors. So we're so happy to see all these officers coming from regional and remote locations to meet with the private sector in EAHS. It's one of the best platforms to coordinate to bring that bridge between the private and public sector. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Joseph Myers. I'm Regional Manager for East Africa for Move One Logistics. We're a freight forwarding company specialised in final mile distribution across challenging locations, including across most of Africa. It's been great to be here at the conference, meeting existing partners, old partners, new friends, and we've had some really, really high-level chats here from a multitude of potential clients, rekindling lots of nice relationships. It's so great to be back in person after many years of virtual conferences. We've enjoyed both the keynote speakers and the discussions and the panels there. And it's great to see how our partners are creating dynamic solutions that we can cater for in the field. As we're a dynamic company that tailors our solutions across the logistics sector to our clients' needs, it's great to hear from a high level what's happening in the region and how we can better tailor our solutions to our clients' needs. So looking forward to coming back again next year. We're also very excited by the multitude of NGOs here who we already work with in locations such as Ukraine, that we can start supporting in the DRC, South Sudan, Central Africa, and across the continent. Hopefully with the end goal that everyone has here in making a better life and a better situation for everyone.
My name is Kishan. I work at Compulynx Limited. We're a software company in Kenya, and we have other branches in Uganda and Tanzania. This event is our first time exhibiting as one of the sponsors, as a technology providers. And I must say this is one of the kind of events we have never seen elsewhere, especially the one-to-one interactions which we have been having with the different NGOs around the facility. And I think it's a very amazing event, and we look forward to more interactions with the NGOs who we have met today. And yeah, we'll see you next year again, the same place. And yeah, thank you.
Okay, hello, my name is Roosevelt Mwenzi. I'm part of the pre-sales team at Compulynx. I was really favored to attend this event. I've never come to such an event. The conference was quite enlightening. One thing that stood out as part of the conference that is not in many other conferences is the one-on-one engagement. The setup was set up in a manner that is quite similar to a dating scenario. So people were open to being asked questions. They were open to offering information. And as a result, I can calmly and comfortably say that we have been able to collect so much data as regards how NGOs work, how NGOs operate. And considering that we are a system integrator and a systems developer, we'll be able to use those connects, of course, to better how we offer our solution that meets the needs of the beneficiaries throughout the world, not only in Kenya. Thank you very much, and we hope to come to the next event, and it will be as successful and as fruitful as this one. Thank you very much.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Craig Bull from Butyl Products Group, and we're one of the leading wash suppliers to humanitarian aid. We've enjoyed actually being at the East African Health Summit this for the last 2 days, and we've seen much benefit in the participants that have been here and the quality of the attendees. It's been a very good show. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jorge Ortiz from Western Shelter System, a U.S. manufacturing company. We came to this conference thinking we need to meet some people, we need to expand our business. This was a great conference, a great format. They have meetings, one-on-one meetings on the afternoons, which is great because you get to talk to the people personally, talk about business, you don't have to wander around. The topics that were managed during the first few days, they were great, they were important and reliable to what our business does and what our business wants to accomplish. So thanks.
I'd just like to, on behalf of Bollore, thank EAHS for a very well-organized and fruitful summit here in Kenya. Bollore found it very interesting and successful. We managed to meet up with a lot of our current clients as well as meet new prospective clients. So we would like to thank Cameron and Ian and the EAHS team. Yeah, for Bollore, this was a big calendar event in the year, so thank you so much and appreciate that.
Hi, my name is Catherine. I'm from EAHS Limited. We're a renewable energy company who manufacture solar-powered refrigerators for vaccine storage. We've had a really interesting time here and been able to see a lot of our key clients at the East African Humanitarian Summit, and I have really appreciated all of the networking opportunities that we were presented.